Hi everyone, it's Brian DeWitt joining you from Madison, Indiana. And I guess first off, thanks so much for watching this video. And also thank you to all of those people who have provided feedback, especially in the development of my module, but all of the feedback received from, you guys as we were going through the discussions in the course were really helpful and insightful and helped change the way I look at some of the topics in the class. So thanks so much. As I think about the biggest takeaways, I think it's that going through and aligning subordinate objectives as well as the performance objectives with assessment items was really helpful for me. Going through and identifying the most important um, things that we want students to learn, and even more importantly, designing a stepwise mechanism to be able to teach that process to students worked out really well. I have the opportunity to have actually went through my module as I was finishing it up pretty much. We started school a couple weeks ago, so I was able to get through my module. I just finished it up today actually, so I'm interested to see how the assessment goes on Friday. But I thought it was really awesome how we were able to go through and break down something that would be very complicated, and I know some of my colleagues had very abstract um, things that they were presenting with their audiences, and going through and identifying objectives and breaking it down into a really simple way and presenting it to in really a way that anyone could understand something very difficult. That was the case with velocity. Students last year really struggled with this, and this year we breezed right through it. We didn't have any problems. um, the depth of knowledge that they were able to answer was incredible. They were answering level 3 and level 4 questions like it was nothing. Last year was a struggle to get my students to successfully answer the computational problems. I think by breaking down my really challenging topics the way that I did following the Dick and Carey model, I was able to elicit a lot higher performance from my students with this already challenging unit of instruction. So I thought that that was really valuable. Also identifying assessments that align specifically with each of the performance and subordinate objectives I thought was really helpful. Uh, Prior to this course, I really struggled with designing assessments in really an equitable manner. I would just kind of find some questions that I thought pretty much went with what I taught, and I would always design it at the end of a unit rather than as I was developing it. So I thought that the aligning assessments with subordinate objectives and performance objectives went really well, and that was really helpful. What I'm struggling with still as an instructional designer is really just how to make it all fit together in a way that is feasible for teachers. Um, I spent dozens of hours working on this module, um, and it's just 3% of the physics content that I'll be teaching them this year. So, thinking about doing it for physics, but in addition to, anatomy and physiology and, my Bio 2 class, anatomy and physiology and Bio 2 are both college classes that just have a lot of content that I need to teach. How to do that in a systematic way that does the Dick and Carey model justice, but allows me to sleep, due to all of the time. So, I think what I figured out is that going through and just identifying the objectives and subordinate objectives, figuring out that sequential pathway for instruction, and then aligning um, assessments with those objectives were probably the two things that helped me the most as an instructional designer as I was presenting this content. So I think that that's what I'll be able to use moving forward. And I guess the only other thing that is left unclear is, the Dick and Carey model is just one model of the several instructional design models that, exist out there. So I'm interested in seeing how other models would apply, and how instructional designers that work within the K-12 setting can use these models to effectively design instruction that is relevant, authentic, and student-centered, and yet yields high performance. So that's where I'm at. I've learned a lot in the class. Thanks so much to everyone for their insightful and constructive feedback. I really enjoyed working with all of you, and thanks so much. I hope our paths cross in subsequent classes. I really look forward to continuing to work with you. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.